Bible Kids.
In the days when there was no king in Israel, a great famine struck the land. Naomi, her husband Elimelech, and their 2 sons left Bethlehem to seek food in the distant land of Moab. Heartbroken, they abandoned their home. But in foreign lands, the pain did not cease. Elimelech died, and later, so did his 2 sons. Naomi was left alone with her 2 daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah. Upon learning that God had visited Bethlehem with bread, Naomi decided to return. On the way, she asked her daughters-in-law to return to their hometown. Orpah, in tears, said goodbye. But Ruth clung to Naomi and said forcefully, "Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." A decision that would change her destiny forever. Ruth and Naomi arrived in Bethlehem. The women of the town murmured, "Is that Naomi? How she has changed." Sadly, Naomi said, "Do not call me Naomi, but Mara, for the Almighty has filled me with bitterness." But although the pain was still present, a new hope was dawning. And it was harvest time. Ruth asked permission to go out and pick the grain left by the harvesters. By God's providence, she came to a field belonging to Boaz, a nobleman and relative of Elimelech. Boaz saw Ruth and asked for her. Upon learning of her faithfulness to Naomi, he showed her kindness and protection. Boaz was generous with Ruth. He ordered his workers to leave some grain on purpose for her. Ruth returned home with her arms full, and Naomi, surprised, asked her where she had been. Upon hearing that it was in Boaz's field, her eyes lit up. And she said, "That man is our relative, one who can redeem us." Following Naomi's advice, Ruth went one night to the threshing floor where Boaz slept after his day's work. She humbly approached him and asked him to redeem her as a close relative. Boaz, impressed by her courage and purity, promised to do the right thing. "If another does not redeem you, I will." Boaz went to the city gate and spoke to the other closest relative. Wisely and respectfully, Boaz explained the situation. The other renounced his right, and before the elders, Boaz proclaimed, "I redeem Ruth the Moabite as a wife." The people celebrated with joy. A foreigner had become part of God's people. Ruth married Boaz in a simple but joyful ceremony. Naomi, once empty-hearted, now smiled with a full heart. "God has not abandoned us," she said. Ruth's story became a song of hope that resonated throughout Bethlehem. Ruth gave birth to a son, and they named him Obed. The women of the town said, "Naomi has a grandson." Obed grew up and became the father of Jesse, who became the father of David, the great king of Israel. Ruth's faithfulness blessed generations. From Ruth, the Moabite, came the lineage of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. What began with hunger and pain ended in redemption and glory. Because when God chooses someone, He writes a story greater than we ever imagined.
Don't forget to support us with a like.